things with the meditations, the journaling, the breath work with myself, with my clients, with the people that come to my events. And I was needing to remind myself of this last week because I'm hosting another Powerful Stuff Live at Moss, which I love. Shout out to Moss. And I've hosted it a few times there before, but I had really been feeling the itch to perform. Like part of my expression, and I'm a manifestor generator in human design, is being able to perform on stage, like comedy, music, and stand up. Like I love coaching, I love speaking, I love facilitating, but performing is such a part of my blood. And when I don't feel like I do it, I feel like part of me is being suppressed. And it's like, let me out. I'm ready to be seen. And I love creating experiences that infuse that. And because Spencer and I had been traveling for 5 months, yes, I hosted a few breathworks and Best Morning Evers while I was traveling, but I hadn't really hosted an event outside of Best Morning Ever since I had returned to LA. And I really felt like part of me needed it. And then I booked this event for this Friday and kind of felt like, I think maybe because I was traveling a bunch for weddings this summer and I was sick, I kind of felt, instead of inspired and excited, I felt like anxiety around it. Like, oh my gosh, I hope I sell enough tickets. And I hope the people that I want to book say yes. And like, how am I going to make it even better than the last Powerful Stuff? Like, I noticed it was a feeling of anxiety around all of these things that I wanted to do for the event, that I had to sit down with myself this weekend. When I say I had to sit down with myself, I also mean my husband had to sit down with me and be like, whoa, you're doing this event for fun. This is not a money maker for you or your salary. This is like simply something that you do out of pure joy that adds to the Powerful Stuff brand, like this podcast and the events, and if you're doing it and you're feeling so stressed about like who's coming and who's performing and how you can make it even better, like A, that's not living your brand, that's living out of alignment. And B, like, as I've said before with my wedding, like you are the guest of honor at your wedding. You are the energetic set point, and the more fun you're having, the more fun everyone else is having. As a creator and host of this event, if you're stressed or you're anxious about it, like that is not the kind of energy you want to bring other people into this world. I want other people to leave the event feeling excited and inspired and like laughing, and like the ones who came, however big or small the event was, however many number of tickets we sold, it's like they were the perfect people to be there, versus wishing like more people came or people who said they were going to come but then didn't come. It's like focusing on who is there instead of who isn't there, and viewing it as a sandbox, as a creative playground of like, I'm just going to throw things against the wall and see what sticks. Like the stakes are low in the sense of like, I know it's going to be a great show no matter what. I always have great performers. I always feel like I'm in my flow state when I'm performing and on the mic, and how wonderful that I have this canvas and a community that wants to come and explore and create with me on a Friday night. And I needed to do some of my own coaching tools of like, what am I feeling anxious about? Writing it out. Why am I feeling anxious about it? And what would it look like to treat this more lightly, to just have fun with it, right? What if, and I did a little what if rampage, like, what if, the perfect amount of people were meant to be there and it was intimate, and I experimented with this new groundbreaking thing that became part of my signature methodology? What if we only had 2 other performers, but it actually allowed this incredible moment of open mic that we wouldn't have had space for otherwise if it's too structured? What if, I, like, in loosening this grip of control, it made the event even more playful and fun? Just kind of like allowing myself to take a little bit of the pressure off and to like get back into that feeling of excitement around it. And when I'm in that feeling, especially if I'm creating it, other people are going to feel that too. So whatever you are kind of treating with heaviness that you're planning, whether it's like a life event like a wedding or a bachelorette or a baby shower, or something for your work or a friend trip, it's like we are creating these experiences to have fun, and not just the experience, but also the journey toward it, right? That is the foundation of it. That's creating the energy around it. And I literally had to take my own advice around that for this Friday, because yeah, as I was saying, like, I want people to come to the event and be entertained and be inspired by the expanders of the, professional performers of music and comedy. And then to have opportunities to connect with other audience members and create something of their own on the spot and feel inspired or empowered of like, wow, I didn't know I could create this. And like the stakes are low for them to get up to the mic and to perform something as well. And so that was a little chit chat I had to have with myself and remind myself. My hope too is that for you, like whatever, on our journeys of life, on our journeys of planning things can get heavy. Like life can be stressful. And when we're, especially like if you're in therapy or you're doing the work, some healing can feel heavy. And that's why it's so important to counterbalance it with fun and with allowance and permission of like, I get to uh, treat this lightly. It doesn't have to be so serious. One of my favorite quotes is, "It's our responsibilities, not ourselves, that we should be taking seriously." And the more we can open up and soften to that, the more magic we can let in, because the less we are trying to control it. And that's where I came up with Powerful Stuff Live. It's kind of been accumulation of, my philosophy with coaching of like play is power, but also infusing tactics of mindfulness and getting people to connect and share stories, which is homage to my early days as a community builder when I would host storytelling dinners and I would have everyone share a story around a certain theme, and also a homage to my love for comedy and music ever since I took improv classes at Groundlings and stand-up classes, and have just since I was 18 traveled around and played music with my guitar, and was like, Powerful Stuff Live started from this crazy concept of like, what if I could combine all of my passions into one capstone experience and make it, instead of all these different things having their own singular moment, like a comedy night, but no connection or meditation, or a serious meditative night. Like, what if they could all coexist? And that's where the uniqueness and magic comes in. And then it's up to me in the creation process of that as the creator to maintain that and to give myself that permission and allowance that I want to give my audience, because we have to put the oxygen mask on ourselves first before we put it on others. And we are our own client zero. So whatever you're, feeling heaviness around this week, as I always say, like, what is the first thing? Just get out the old story, right? The story I'm telling myself is blank, or the story I'm telling myself is I'm experiencing anxiety around XYZ, right? Just acknowledging the heaviness, maybe even burning it, writing, "I'm all about the burning" in a safe, contained way, guys, or ripping it up or flushing it down the toilet or screaming it into a pillow. And then going into the imaginative, what if I didn't take this so seriously? What if my lightness around it allowed this magic to come in this unexpected way? What if, what if Ed Sheeran came to my Powerful Stuff Live and did a surprise performance? What if you, the listener, was listening to this and was like, "Do I need to be at Powerful Stuff Live on Friday?" So that is what I'll say, is like just kind of getting out the heaviness, acknowledging it, and then going into a fun, imaginative what if, and maybe even doing like a change of state. You know how like people do cold plunges to change their state? It's like maybe just like doing like a shaky moment. Or I love the fitness marshal on YouTube. Shout out to my friend Hinata, who showed me the fitness marshal, and he does really fun dances, and that's like a 3-minute dance choreography that you can use to change your state. And yeah, just viewing it with a little bit more lightness or silliness. I saw this Instagram the other day that was like, what if your spiritual journey, or like, what if enlightenment is all about becoming a silly goose? And I'm like, what if, And we look at those people who move through life with that lightness, and it is magnetic and it is infectious. And it's also giving ourselves the allowance and the permission to do that and not having to make everything so serious. So with that, we're just going to do a quick 1-minute moment to tap into our intuitive inner child, right? And when we think about healing our inner child is happy to go on the healing journey with us, and they need the trust and hold space for their anger, their sadness, etc. But children also need to play. We need to take them to the playground. They need to have imaginative moment. So equally important to healing and holding space for your inner child for all the heavy work is taking your inner child to the playground and being like, we deserve to play. And for every heavy, thing that you go through, it's so important and critical to give your inner child that playground moment as well. So for me this week, mine is just having fun and literally treating Powerful Stuff Live like a sandbox. Guys, watch this space and hopefully I'll see you there. And also we have Best Morning Ever that morning as well. But yeah, think about what your sandbox is, where you can just take the pressure off, where there's no KPI, where you can be a little bit messy and crazy. So we'll do 3 breaths and then we'll kind of tap into what your inner child is saying to you. So I just want you to stand up. We'll just stand up together. Or if you're driving, you can just shake it out. Breathe in whatever heaviness that you're feeling and exhale. Stick your tongue out. Shake it off. Imagine it falling to the earth, banking it, shedding it, shaking it off like a shaggy dog. Next breath in, breathing in all the magic, the sparkles, the unicorn, inspiration for all your play. And exhale, wave it down like you're moving your hips like Shakira, your hips don't lie, of what you're ready to call in, maybe letting a smile or a weird movement come to your face. And then third and deepest breath in, tapping into your inner child, that inner portal of play and power. As you exhale, bring your hands to your heart, getting a vision of that beautiful inner child and just asking them, what do you need this week to play? What would light you up? What do you need this week to play, to express? Trusting whatever ping they tell you, being like, you got it, little guy or little gal. We're going to do it. And I love you. I fucking love you. Or I don't know if you want to swear in front of your inner child. Then you can open your eyes, shake it out. And I hope you have a very playful and powerful week this week. Guys, I needed this just as much as you did. This might be one of the records for one of our shortest powerful stuffs ever. So thanks for being along for this little tapacito with me. And I will see you next week for more powerful stuff. Hey, you. Thank you for coming on this powerful journey with me. I hope it was as powerful for you as it was for me. And if it was, it would mean the world to me if you rate, review, and subscribe to Powerful Stuff so I can keep bringing you the goods. We can keep going on this transformative journey together. And if there's powerful stuff that you want to share with me, with the Powerful Stuff community, tag us on Instagram at That's Powerful Stuff or the Meredith Baker. And I look forward to seeing you next week for more powerful stuff.